Hey guys, what's up? I'm coming at you from the world's squeakiest chair. Today, we're going to talk about Adele and what she's doing wrong. I want to point out some vocal habits she uses that aren't necessarily healthy. I really want you guys to be able to learn how to sound your best and sing for a long time if that's what you want to do with your life. She has a lot of vocal damage. Why is that? She's too good. Like, we don't want her to cancel. We don't want her to quit. We love Adele. Everyone loves Adele. If you don't love Adele, rethink your choices. And I understand that, like, some of what I hear in her voice might be, like, style choices or, like, a branded sound or someone telling her that she has to sound a certain way. I don't know about all that. I'm just talking about what I see. Here's the thing. I just want to say up front, I love her. I think she's an incredible artist. I think she's obviously fearless. She does something that many of us could never do, get up in front of millions and sing her heart out. And I think she's really good at being vulnerable. I can't imagine what it's like to go through surgery, and that must suck. So we're not here to Adele shame, we're here to Adele praise. Adele learn from. Yeah. Especially because we're used to hearing, famous people like Adele. And so it's nice to use those people as examples to try to learn, how we can all improve. So, I'm pretty excited to get into these nitty-gritty details. So how do I do this again? Start recording. So let's look at a video of Adele from 2011. This is pre-vocal surgery. And let's just kind of hear what kind of habits she has going on.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you.
Okay, I can already hear that her larynx is not as deep as it could be. She's singing with her larynx from right up here, which is common for a lot of pop singers. That's how you get that sound of like, for you. But like, here's the thing is, if she opened it up a little more, got more of a yawn space, she'd actually have more access to all of the vocal resonators in her body, and she'd be able to hit those notes with a little less tension. Let's keep listening.
Ooh, don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes.
Yeah, you hear that run? It was like kind of hard to do. It was a little bit, it was weak. And I think that's because she's breathing from her upper chest a lot. You can also hear how breathy her when she takes a breath between the phrase, how it sounds like something. That's an indication, like I just did it there. That's an indication that you have tension that's holding either in the upper chest or around the sternum area. So if you imagine her taking a silent breath in between, like not only does that connect you to the deep lower breath, but it also helps you start from a place free of tension. Let's hear what else is going on in here.
It lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead.
Yeah, and that riff too was kind of weak. Oh, hello, eyeball. I love that. But yeah, that riff was a little weak too. She needs to drive it forward a little more, and that takes a lot of breath support to do. And it just sounds like her breathing apparatus right there wasn't exactly where it needed to be. So this is Adele 2015, probably late 2015. She's live singing When We Were Young from her 25 album.
Let me photograph you in this light in case it is the last time.
Okay, did you hear that? So she was doing really well with keeping the consonants out of her way, kind of spitting them out in front instead of letting them like come back and stop her sound and making it wide. It was all really forward and driven. But then she chose to like use the throat to pop up into that high part. Let's play it again.
In this light in case
See, it's like, okay. It's like, it's not good. It hurts to do, especially I can imagine she's singing all the time, like all the time. She's famous. So imagine that times a million, and it's just not good for your voice. Let's keep listening.
is the last time that we might be exactly
And did you hear that B was kind of flat? Like even in this recording, it was just a little bit under pitch, which means something somewhere is getting pushed.
like we were before we realized we were sad.
Yeah, and that really short breath is still there. It feels like she's singing from here up. But the thing is, like, what's interesting about this version is that her like tone sounds really forward. It just sounds like if she opened up the throat Like it's getting stuck here. If she opened up the throat and imagined like, I don't know, a bendy straw, if your body's the bendy straw when you're singing, like getting everything out of the way so the breath just moves straight on through, her bendy straw is cutting off here. So her bendy straw is like this big as opposed to like the length of her body. And something about that is just getting in her way, in my opinion.
Getting old, it made us restless. It was just like a movie.
You hear how raspy that is? It's so raspy.
It was just like a song.
Yeah, it's like I think the raspiness might be a style thing, but it's hard to tell when it's style that you put on because you can or the only way the sound will come out, which is, you know, a raspiness is a sign of vocal tension, vocal damage over a period of time. If you notice that in your voice, you should probably get checked out. But I think her forwardness of the tone is really great. I think she just needs to like let it go, let it release a little bit more. Let's check out another one. All right, this is Adele live at the Grammys 2017 singing Hello. If anyone's seen the Trolls movie, Zooey Deschanel singing Hello as a troll, as an animated troll, is quite possibly one of the best things ever.
Hello. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times.
Okay, so you can already see that, like, it's difficult for her to transition into that upper range because it's so heavy down below. So if she just sort of backed off of that a little bit, gave it a little more, like I said, like releasing that throat tension, just giving it a little bit more space, it would actually blend much nicer up. And I don't know if that's an intentional flip that she's doing, but the upper range is so weak that it could use a little more of what she's got down there, a little more depth to it. So, yeah, you can also see, like, if you watch her body, the way she's breathing, her ribs are kind of going like this. Hello from the other side. What we want to do is hello from the other side. Like, we want to hold it open, flare it out for as long as we can. Hold the rib cage, flare it out for as long as we can. Because or else we're letting gravity take the weight of the ribs and we don't have very much control over the breath, which is essential to sustaining a sound for, you know, concerts, live, all these kinds of performances she has going on. Yeah, it's like that home is like kind of pushed. It's really low, but it's definitely pushed from the upper chest. And you can hear that is because like a freer version would sound more like her higher range, how it just soars like that. And the home, it's like it hits and then it shimmers. It hits and then it has a vibrato, as opposed to home having vibrato right from the start. Is a really good indication of whether or not the voice is free or not. Doesn't mean you always have to have vibrato in everything, but the possibility of it is what gives you that freedom. You also notice she's still doing that and like that vocal flip thing. That's basically just a glottal attack, where in essence your vocal cords smack against each other, and that's what makes that sound. So if you even, like I just did it then, it does not feel good. And especially doing that over a long period of time is going to cause some damage. God, she is just so good. You can like see into her soul. Yeah, that break was just a little bit flat, just a little bit. You can hear these things while they're happening. They maybe don't stand out as much as you would think they would, but a trained ear can hear how, you know, that was flat, this was pushed, and over a period of time, all of those things are going to add up. From the course of like 2011, what I'm noticing is just some like young singer technique things getting in her way, like that larynx is really up as she let it get down a little juicier, a little deeper. She would actually have more access to volume and sound, and you can tell that her breath isn't supporting the sound because the vibrato was really slow. And then in 2015, you know, this is post-surgery. She's had a few years to, you know, try to figure out how to do this thing a little bit more healthily, I still noticed a lot of the same habits. A lot of pushing, a lot of upper chest pushing, breathing from the upper chest, not using her whole body. And it's interesting why that, I wonder why that happens, because she is just so open. And you, like I said, you can see right into her soul, but how come the whole body is not being used? Can you imagine, like, Adele, if her whole body was being used to sing? Anyway, going off on a rant. All the way to 2017, this is when she started noticing some more damage. It's just because those pushing habits, that glottal attack, all of those things, the raspiness added on top, are all adding up over time. It's only been, 6 years, 5 years, and it's already, coming to another culmination of severe damage that's gonna hurt her. So if we want to be good singers, if we want to make sure that, we don't have to go get throat surgery or surgery on our vocal cords because over the course of time we've just damaged them too much. If we want to have a long career in singing, or if we just want to sound good and we're not sure how to do that we're not sure how to do that in a healthy way, this is our first step. So if we're going based off of Adele, here's what we've learned. You don't want to push the sound out. You can trust the ease of your voice a little bit more, and especially don't get the throat involved, don't get the upper chest involved. You want to make those breaths as silent as possible, so you can start from a place free of tension at the beginning of a phrase. You don't want to add any growls or raspiness. You want to get up over the note and give it like a lot of depth and space below it, like a yawn, like a huge yawn, like a basketball is stuck in your throat. And that's going to give you just a lot more space to play with. And then from there, you can decide, what is my sound, my style? What can I add to this to make it cool? Just from that place of depth, you have a lot more freedom. So if you guys have any questions, please comment below. And thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.